Okay, remember all the commercials that we grew up with in the 50s. The only black women we saw was Beulah. Amen. Okay? Yeah, I mean, no, we only saw Beulah, all right? Aunt your mama, all right? But and therefore that was our programming, all right? Whereas on the other end, we saw beautiful, slender, beautiful hairstyles and things like that. Then later that changed, all right? And it changed our concept or how we viewed ourselves, all right? Because of the programming and the advertisement and what Madison Avenue told people to believe about themselves. And if you notice today, how many times do you see a beautiful Asian woman, okay, or a beautiful Hispanic woman that looks Hispanic in a commercial advertising diamonds or rubies? How many times do you see that? Okay? Mamacita serving tacos or something with a big family, okay, in front of Taco Bell or whatever, but not the beautiful woman, okay? All right? How many times do you see that? You don't see much of that. All right? And so, where do we get all this from? Where do we get these ideas from, all right? This is beautiful. Why? Because she's got the curves, she's got the teeth, she's got the smile. And where do we get the idea that's slender and not big and not plump? We get it from the Greeks. 776 BC on the plains of Olympia, plains of ancient Olympia in Greece. Games were held, and they were worship rituals in honor of the Greek gods, their mythology. 20,000 spectators, all men, would be there. The royalty, the bourgeoisie, the rich, the proud would be there to watch these games. Only one woman was allowed there. Any other woman who stepped in there, it would be death. Death on sight, and that would be the queen. And 3 months these events would take place. And prior to the starting of these games, they declared throughout Greece, from city to city, what was called the exria, and that is a cessation from all hostilities. And what they would do, this man would have to be a physical specimen. He couldn't just be big. He would have to be a physical specimen. And once again, all of their art and drawings tell you what a physical specimen should look like, right? Remember their art and sculptures of Hercules, Atlas, and so on. And so he would have to be a physical specimen. He would run, he would wrestle, he would jump, he would do all kinds of things over that 3-month period. And whoever won was considered the perfect man. The Greeks had a word for it. Arete, which meant excellent. And that meant better than everybody else. And he would be heralded throughout the country, from place to place, as the most perfect man, the excellent man. And that meant every man looked at him as the paragon of manhood. The paragon of manhood. Didn't matter how he thought, didn't matter anything else. Their reference point was basically because of how you have performed physically and how you look. You are the perfect man. And anybody who was to the other extreme of him felt like a failure, felt like nothing in that society. 776 BC. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And we've come all the way around to 2000, and we've got Olympics today, don't we? Okay? And folks, we worship our stars, don't we? Okay? We worship our athletes, amen? It's almost like a cult when you go to a football game, a baseball game. It's almost like a cult for many of the people because they worship those athletes. And the sad thing about it, those athletes who have been deified begin to feel like it. And then when their season's over, that's why there's drugs, that's where there's women, that's where there's all kinds of things for many of them, suicide, many things for them, because they're no longer gods, they're mortals now. And if you study Greek mythology, anytime a god was made a mortal, he didn't last long. He didn't last long, all right? He did not last long. I'm just trying to share with you folks, when we talk about what is man, why we think the way we think, right? Why we value or don't value ourselves, because guess what? If I valued myself properly, I couldn't be a drug addict. I couldn't be an alcoholic. I couldn't be an abuser of my body in any kind of way, or my life. I would be with my children because I knew my value to them. I would be the greatest to my parents because I knew my value. But if my whole world reference point has told me that I'm valueless because I'm thin, I'm valueless because I'm fat, valueless because I'm short, valueless because of a lot of different reasons, folks. I mean, can you imagine, folks? I think one of the great ball players today is Kobe Bryant. Okay, Big Shaq. All right, Shaq. All right. How about it? There's a few more out there. I mean, well, several others out there that are just great ball players. I'd like you to drop them in a helicopter in Central Africa where they've never heard of basketball, and then let them walk around. Nobody will come to them. Nobody will talk to them. All they would ask Shaq to do, because of his height, is pick some bananas out of some trees, okay, before the giraffes got to him, amen? Okay? Folks, because of the new reference point, you've lost your value. You see that? Okay. I'm no longer an athlete. I'm no longer slim and trim. I'm no longer the specimen that this society has told me is the excellent or the best or the better. And since I've lost my reference point, I feel that I've lost my value as a person. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Amen. How about it, folks? The whole attitude in Western civilization of competition, comparison, and capitalism. There was, John Wesley made this statement. He said, Western society is such that the highest offices in the state or the church resemble a pyramid. He said, resemble a pyramid. And he said, only two kinds of people usually climb to the top of the pyramid. He said, ego people. And what are eagles famous for? Flying high, soaring high, but also swooping down and destroying the prey. And he said the second kind are reptiles. Reptiles. Slithering, slimy, no good people. Okay? All right? And when they get to the top, Jimmy, that's success. Because that's their reference point. Their reference point has told them this is success. And they feel good and they feel value about themselves. And when suddenly another snake overtakes them, or an eagle swoops down and rips them to pieces, what happens? Suicide.